Alright guys, how's it going? It's Ep1 here, and I am going to be giving you the first episode of this Dortmund save. So what we're going to do in this episode is I'm just going to show you what I've been doing on this save and just give you guys a little bit of an update and a catch up on what's gone on. So as you can see on the right, I managed Everton for 3 years before taking a year out and then becoming the Dortmund manager. So I'm going to show you a little bit about what happened when I was managing Everton, the team, etc., and what's going now at the moment with Dortmund. So at the beginning of this season this is still my first season with Dortmund, so I've been here 6 months or whatever, and just been playing games with them. So I'm just going to show you what I've been doing with Everton first, and then we'll look into Dortmund and look into a bit in detail, a bit more of these type of stats. So yeah, we'll go straight to Everton, and we will go, and I will show you the transfers I made. So as you can imagine, Everton aren't the richest club, so they'll be not on a high transfer budget at the beginning of the game. So to the first season. So this is what I did in the first season. I sold all these free transfers, whatever, players I didn't really need, and I brought in this guy. Now this guy is a young striker. He's a very good player. He's got quite a bit of potential as well, so if you are looking to sign a young player with potential, sign this guy from PSV. Is Zakaria Bakali, I think. I had a good go at that, I reckon. I signed Carlos Fierro on loan, thinking he might have a decent impact with a option to buy. Didn't quite, and I didn't follow up and sign him in the end. I also signed Vito Manone as a backup keeper, and the best two signings were Alan Djurkoev from CSK Moscow on a free. He ran down his contract, and Ronaldinho, I signed him on a free transfer. He's now a manager, and I spent a total of 3 million. Obviously, probably a bit overspent on Vito Manone. He didn't really play, but I did kind of need a backup keeper. Nothing really there to concern yourselves with. In the first season with Everton then, I don't know if there's any way I can look at this on a graph of like achievement or whatever, but I will just go to the Premier League quickly. And the current season they're doing pretty well in second, but we actually finished third, so I had a decent squad, played alright. Pienaar, etc, etc. we had. Let me see if I can get team report. No, let's go history, managers. Well, yeah, me, I resigned from role. They had Guardiola actually after I left, and he got sacked, which is pretty funny. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. So in the first season, this was the team that was voted the best team. So we had Tim Howard in goal, Phil Neville at right back, Heitinga and Jagielka at centre back, and Baines at left back. An absolutely solid defence, absolutely solid. Especially these three. Phil Neville obviously getting on a little bit and wasn't quite there. I think, did I bring in Nathaniel Klein at this point? I think I did, but I'm not sure why he's not there. But yeah, Nathaniel Klein I think was pretty good. Kevin Morales, very good player. Fellaini, we all know about. Gibson was decent as well. He chipped in with a few assists and was quite solid in the middle of that midfield. Pienaar as well, a very, very good creative player. Osman was pretty decent. Who did I play? I think we played. No, we didn't actually play Barkley. No, I think that's right. Osman played alright there, and Naismith played there quite a bit as well in the first season. And Jelavic, well, look at these stats. An absolute tank. 25 goals in 36 games in that season. I think that's a Premier League season it was. So he had pretty good Premier League. So if we go to the next season, no, let's not go on that. Let's go back to transfers, and we will go up a season. So after that, I got a bit of a budget actually in the next season, and we went on to buy Agbona for 10 million from Torino. He turned out to be a very, very good and solid centre back. Was a bit more of a backup, but yeah, Nathaniel Klein, I signed him actually this season, so it wasn't last season. I apologise. Nathan Redmond then came in for 5 million, 5-ish million as well. Similar price to Nathaniel Klein. Bentner came in on loan. Javi Garcia came in on loan. I bought an Anderson, transfer list at United, a very, very good signing. I was pleased with him. made a profit on him as well. And Adam Milson, one of the best signings I probably ever made. Look at those stats. An absolute tank. If you want to sign Adam Milson, he comes from Sao Paulo at the beginning of the game for a release clause of 5.5 million, and he is just unbelievable. Pretty much 5-star potential, and he's a great player. Players are sold then: Stephen Naismith, Tony Hibbert, and Leon Osman, pretty much. And in that season, we actually finished 4th. So we did a little bit worse than the season before. We had a bad start to the season, to be honest with you, drawing and losing too many games that season, and it didn't put us in good stead for the rest of it. Again, in cup competitions this season, we didn't do too well. So, going into the final season then, after that, after this pretty, well, I wouldn't say successful by Everton standards, but I guess it was kind of successful in terms of where they expected me to finish. So we got about a 30 million transfer budget this window. 30 million. So I thought I was going to splash the cash. One of the things that sort of encouraged me to do so was Real Madrid came in with a £13 million offer for Marion Fellaini, and that was right up front as well. And I just couldn't refuse that. It's 30 million up front. What am I going to do? I'm going to take it. So we sold him, and we also sold, well, Anderson in January, but I sold him for a profit because I didn't really play him. Shane Duffy as well, and all these. Pienaar and Gibson went out as well. So I decided to kind of reshape the team. So we went Sebastian Rode, £8 million, brilliant, solid defensive midfielder in there, ball-winning midfielder. Xabi Alonso transfer listed at Real Madrid, so he's a player you're not really going to turn down at the age of 32 and at a price of 7 million. Gaston Ramirez transfer listed at Southampton. Look at those stats. He is a solid player, he's actually one of these players that come around once in a career, I guess, and he's one of the better players at the moment in terms of ability and potential ability. Valerio Vera, I signed from who did I sign him from? Genoa for 8 million. He was more of a player for the future, and he was a backup centre midfielder, so he was pretty decent. He looks pretty good for the future as well. Jack Butland for 4.7 million, again, long-term replacement for Tim Howard. Frank Lampard, brought him on a free, thought he could be useful as a backup. Wasn't really, actually. Simi Vaseko, transfer list at United, very good right back. I thought I'd bring him in, he's a bit better than Nathaniel Klein. Abel Hernandez was transfer listed at Juventus, and I couldn't refuse, so I had to sign him. Rasmus Elm, I had to sign him as well. He's just an absolute class player. Look at those stats, and he's just a great midfielder and provides a lot of goals for the team. Very consistent performer as well. Also signed Pepe on loan from Real Madrid. Didn't really quite work out. He kind of terminated his loan 2 weeks into it because he wasn't playing, so yeah, and didn't really matter to me. I had a few defenders in the form of youngsters, so it wasn't too bad. So the 2014-2015 season went a little bit like this. We finished second on goal difference. We almost won the league this year, and it was almost triumphant, and we had the potential to do a treble as well. Absolutely gutted. Chelsea won on the final day of the season to win the title. I think they retained it, actually. No, they didn't. To win the title. And yeah, we couldn't really do much about that. It was a bit gutting, but it happened, so I have to move on. If I go to the team, best 11, I think I showed you. Wait, I didn't show you the second season. Wait, first season. The second season looked a little bit like that. Zhakov in the middle of midfield and all of that. Good stuff. So this season was Abel Hernandez, Barkley. Abel Hernandez was just a goal-scoring monster when he came in. And we got a lot of goals from players. Adam Milson scored 16, 15 from Jelavic, 10 from Djokovic, and 16 from Abel Hernandez. Djokovic really came into his own this season and played really well. And you'll see how it contributed to our season. You see how much it really did work. This was just Premier League as well. It's not even overall. And I think that this is my final season at this club. So I will show you actually the fixtures so you can see. Overview, you scored, fixtures. So is it 2015? No, season before. So this was my final season, and as you know, we did decent in the Premier League. We're going to take that out, and we're going to leave the FA Cup, where we actually reached the final, and we actually beat Manchester City on penalties in the final. It was a good game actually, and quite equal. As you can see, they scored in the 89th minute. I was kind of gutted about that, but they missed 2 of their penalties. Alonso missed one of our penalties, and we won 4-3. So I was really happy about that. Very successful, and as you can see, Abel Hernandez scoring 2 in that game. Abel Hernandez scoring again and again. So strikers all contributing, midfielders as well. Yelovich scoring the penalty in the final. And the biggest one was the Champions League. We actually got to the final of the Champions League against Real Madrid. We beat Manchester City in the semi-finals in both legs 2-1. Ajax beating the quarters and AC Milan in the first knockout round. But we lost to Real Madrid 3-0 in the final. Real Madrid took us apart. Cristiano Ronaldo in particular scored one from a corner and just dribbled through our whole team and hit one in the top corner for his other. So we couldn't really do much about that. At the end of that season, I went through pre-season, I think. Did I? Actually, did I? I think I did for a slight bit, and then I thought, no, I'm going to retire. I mean, not retire, resign. Yeah, I signed Basilio. Actually, I signed everyone except for Robson Kanu on this list. I signed everyone but Robson Kanu. This guy was pretty good, actually. I like the fact I signed this regen. And this guy as well, Basilio. You can just pause if you want to see their stats. I went a bit quickly there, I understand. But I was happy with them, and at that point, after signing Johnny Evans, I decided to call it quits. And then I wanted to find a job in Europe, preferably Italy, and I wanted to find a job. No jobs were available. I tried to take over the Italy national job and the Spanish national job at the same time. Jurgen Klopp got appointed as the new Germany manager, so I applied for the Dortmund job, and I ended up getting it. So if I go to the league, you can see we are actually in second with 34 games played. No, what the fuck? Yeah, I've just embarrassed myself. 17 games played, 34 didn't seem right. 17 games played, we are second to Leverkusen on 37 points. They've got 38. Third have got 36. 34 is fourth with the Wolfsburg, and 33 is fifth with Bayern Munich. So, yeah, I'm just going to cut that bit out. So, yeah, as you can see, we haven't got the best goal difference, nor so we haven't scored the most goals, nor have we conceded the least. So we've been in the middle-ish, I guess. 40 goals is not bad. 17 conceded is not bad either. It's near the top in terms of those rankings, I guess. Look, I mean, if we go there, we're fourth in goals conceded, fourth least, and third most for goals scored. So it's not too bad, but could get better. I just kind of want to improve the defence because it's not been so good. So if I show you the transfers, then I know we're currently in January, so I might make some transfers as well. So at the start, then. Oh no, wait, which transfers? I came in at... I didn't make any of these transfers, so I came in at... Actually, did I? No, I didn't make any of these transfers. Actually, no, it's not showing one of my... It's not showing this season, no. Yeah, I didn't make any of these... Actually, I made some of these. So, I didn't make the first 2 transfers, sorry. Oh, fucking hell, that's fucked me over twice now. So... Marc-Andre ter Stegen and this regen here had already been brought in. It's a decent regen. So I needed to bring in a defence. I bought 17.5 million for this guy. Bit too much. Well, I say a bit. It was massively overpriced. But I went for him because I thought he'd be a good signing. So far, he's actually probably been my best defender. So for value for money, he's probably not worth it. But he has paid back a large chunk of it by his performances so far this season. Nuri Sahin was transfer listed by Man United, and I couldn't refuse. I had to bring him back to Dortmund for 9 million, and his value's gone up. Bought in this regen, Yannick Latfin, as a regen, very, very good. He just signed for a new club, but I activated his release clause because I thought it was good enough. We then sold Robert Lewandowski to Manchester United for £30 million. And we then signed Edison Cavani for 26.5, so a little bit of a profit there. Lewandowski actually, he played about 3 games for me when I came, and he just didn't score, and he just was playing woeful. And I was talking to Mick on Skype, and he was playing his Bayern Munich save, and he was like, he was talking about how good Cavani was on his save. And I've had past experience of playing with Cavani. I mean, I bought him with Arsenal in, it was FM13. I bought him with Arsenal when the beta first came out. I played a whole season in a week, and I just bought Cavani. It was an absolute tank. So I decided to go with that. He was transfer listed at Napoli, and I haggled his price down from 30 million to 26.5, which not a lot, but I guess every little counts, and I made a little bit of a profit. We then bought this guy, Robert Eslinger. Very, very good regen. I've just bought him now in this transfer window. Look at that 5-star potential. 17 years old. I think he'll pay that back in years to come. I'm not sure about this guy. I think he's worth 15 million now. He was transfer listed for 13, but I managed to get it down to 11.25. I'm glad. I probably could have got him a little bit cheaper if I waited a little bit, but I didn't want any other club to buy him, so I went in for him and I bought him just now. So Eduardo Salvio from Benfica. So his price has gone up, which is a good sign actually. But we needed a winger because I was struggling because all my players had poor fitness and I couldn't really rotate properly. And I also sold Jose Acore to Napoli for 5 million. I didn't really use him, and he wasn't my signing. So that's it for transfers. We go to fixtures. So we start the season off with a 3-0 friendly win against Bielefeld. I never play my friendly, so I wasn't too aware of this in terms of like the goal scorers or whatever. Just seen that now. We played the first game in the German Cup and we won 5-0. The new centre back Capuano scored, and the other new centre back was Kirchhoff new? No, he wasn't. Sorry. He feels new because obviously it's a new club, so everyone I see looks kind of new. We won 5-1. Lewandowski scored 1, and then Capuano scored again. Our left back Regen scored a penalty, and this guy just looks class. 5-star potential, absolutely brilliant. I tell you what, Dortmund's youth system is just crazy. The amount of players with 5-star potential is just absolutely unreal. I'll show you in a minute. Alessandro Florenzi scored, and then Cavani came in, scored a goal on his debut. We lost 2 games in a row, once against Porto 2-0 and Werder Bremen 2-0. Beat Dusseldorf 2-0 because Cavani really got going with 2 goals. Beat Wolfsburg 2-1. Drew with Valencia 1-1. Capuano getting an equaliser in that game after Soldado put Valencia in front. Hoffenheim 5-0. Hat-trick for Marco Reus. 3-2 against Neuberg. Cavani scoring the 81st to win the game for us. 3-1 against Celtic in the Champions League, hat-trick for Cavani. 3-1 against Schalke, very good win, especially because they're a close rival. 1-0 against Gladbach in the German Cup, which was a very good win. Cavani scoring the only goal of the game, and they were top of the league of the Bundesliga at that point, so it was going to be a hard game either way, and it was away as well, so it was even more impressive. Managed to beat Hertha Berlin 1-0. I mean, not 1-0, sorry, draw 1-1. Latvin getting a goal, and they equalised quite late on, which was a bit annoying. 3-1 against Celtic again. Goetze, Son, and Bittencourt. I don't. Just what a name. Beat Bayern 3-1 in the league at home. Very good win. This guy is a regen who is just looking tasty. Absolutely brilliant. I'm playing him sort of on the left wing here, Podolski style kind of, and he's just class. He's scoring goals and he's just rapid. Look at that, and his work rate and teamwork's pretty good as well. So he's only young, so he's getting better, but it's a good sign. He's scoring quite a few goals actually. We then beat Cottbus 4-2. Lost to Porto 5-2. Cavani scoring 2 for us in that game. Gladbach again 2-1. Cavani scoring. Frankfurt 1-1. Cavani scoring again. 2-1 against Valencia. Beating Hanover 3-0. Cavani with 2. You can just see the pattern growing here. 1-0 loss against HSV, which ended our league run of victories, or undefeated streak in the league, I guess. And then we bounced back with a 4-1 win against Stuttgart and a 3-0 win against Freiburg in the Cup to put us into the 4th round. And there's a winter break for in the Bundesliga, so 4 friendlies, 3-1, 3-0 and 6-0 so far. Last friendly before our first league game again after the winter break. But as you can see, we got Manchester United in the first knockout round, so it's not going to be easy. If we click on the Group C, we finished second to Porto, who just absolutely just glided through with no losses. Quite astonishing. I don't know how they're so good, Porto, because I got them in the FA Cup and they're not so good at all. But yeah, it's going to be a task to try and beat United. But Lewandowski coming back to Dortmund should be interesting. Hopefully Cavani outshines him, otherwise I'll look like a right tit. But I think that's pretty much it for this catch-up, this little update. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of this series. Fucking hell. Series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, and I'll be bringing out the next episode hopefully tomorrow. So yeah, leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time.